Jason, Arsenal gone backwards?
No, I don't think Arsenal have gone backwards.
You don't think so?
No, I don't. And I know
they're 6 points worse
yes,
off, I think, now than they were
I know
last
you can
year.
argue that, but I would say, they're probably going to finish second. That's 3 second-place finishes. I think there's been progression since Arteta's gone there. 3 second-place finishes, back to back to back. I think they were unlucky in one of them not to get over the line. I think they've just stood still this season with mitigating circumstances, with injuries and suspensions. I think if you look at Odegaard and Saka, the 2 most creative players, they've only played 10 times together.
Arsenal can't deal with an injury or a suspension.
Well, they've had injuries to key players, and I would throw that in the mix. But I don't think they've gone backwards. I just think they've stood still when there was an opportunity to move forwards. I would say Chelsea have moved forwards, but from where they were.
Yeah. Coming from a low bar.
Yeah, coming from a low bar.
Coming from a low bar.
I think
Chelsea,
United,
you think, have
Spurs,
gone forward?
Yeah, but they've started low.
But
they started low. They were never challengers.
More than they did last year. They were never challengers.
No, but I'm not saying that they were challengers. I'm saying they've moved forward from a low bar. You're right. Thank you.
I think if Arsenal had been as good as they were last year, they might have won the title.
Maybe.
I think it would have been closer had they kept a lot more of their key players fit.
I think
and brought it forward.
The teams that have improved this year, you would have to say, are the teams like Bournemouth, Brentford, Fulham,
Forest.
Those are the teams that have improved dramatically.
Yeah.
But not enough. Those are not the teams. All right, Leicester were the exception a few years ago that managed to hang on and win the league. But we don't expect Forest or Brighton or Bournemouth.
I keep hearing that
Fulham.
Arsenal need a centre forward. Liverpool have scored more goals this season than they did under Jurgen Klopp, and they're playing without a centre forward. So why is that such a necessity?
Because Diogo Jota's centre forward and Darwin Núñez, who started yesterday, is a centre forward. What? But they are centre forwards.
Well,
I think the difference is Liverpool have got finishers. Whoever they play at the top end of the pitch, I think you look at them
goals,
and they're going to get.
But
goals.
they don't have.
They don't have
What's Darwin Núñez?
Hopeless.
Yeah. Well,
what's Diogo Jota?
Well, he's not a centre forward.
No, he's a finisher.
Keep talking about centre forwards.
Yeah.
You keep saying they need an
finishes
Isak.
opportunities.
Isak is a centre forward.
yeah. He's not an Erling Haaland. He's not an Isak. He's not one of those. You're right. He's not an Aguero. He's not. They haven't got a centre
Well, he plays
forward
in that
like
role,
that.
but he's not a Firmino. So what
Well,
is
he wasn't a centre forward.
No,
was
he is in the centre
What
forward.
Jota
I agree
is,
with you.
Jota, I think, is a forward.
He's a forward who finishes.
He's a forward.
Finishes
He's a really good
opportunities.
finisher.
Yeah, but he's not a centre forward.
Arsenal could do with him.
Havertz is a forward, and up until he got
He's
injured.
not a finisher.
He had his strike rate, goals, and goals from opportunities was exactly the same as Ollie Watkins, and he's described as a centre forward.
But they're different, aren't they? They play
Yes.
differently.
But what I'm saying is, so you keep saying all they need is a centre forward. Well, maybe they don't just need a centre forward.
What
Maybe
do they
there are
need,
other
then?
problems around and about as well.
I think they need finishers. I think they need
That's
forwards.
Diogo Jota would be good in their team.
I think they need finishers, Keezy, because if you look at the graphic difference between, let's say, the two teams, Arsenal and Liverpool right now, goalkeeper and defensively, Arsenal arguably might have a better defence than Liverpool. Arguably.
I'd put them on a par.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So not much between them. Goalkeepers, not much between them. It depends who you like, what you like. Midfield.
A par.
You've got a workman-like midfield. Really works hard, grafts its socks off. They would probably say we have a more
cultured
midfield, but nothing in it, right? The main difference for me with these two
Front
teams
three.
is when I look at the top end of the pitch.
The front three.
And I look at what you can get from Liverpool from 4 or 5 players, probably. I look at Arsenal right now, and I don't know where a goal's coming from. I really don't.
But Andy, you say
Martinelli's
that, right?
gone. Trossard.
They got 91 goals last season,
No,
and that from
I'm talking about
5.
this season. I'm talking about this season. What the graphic
That's what's
difference
dropped
this
off.
season
Yeah, I agree with you.
is that they cannot get goals from front players.
The same
Havertz,
from
you said,
5.
got goals.
I think what you're saying is what I just said. If they'd been as good as they were last season, they'd probably have won the title this time round.
They certainly would win in a shake.
So
It's
they've
definitely
gone back.
that top end of the pitch. Well, no,
See, I just think this has been a very ordinary Premier League season.
Yeah.
Can I just say about that front 5 that you're going on about, and to back my arguments up, you might have got the same 91 goals as what you got last season, but Saka's been injured, Martinelli's been injured, Havertz is injured, Jesus is injured, and the other one, there's one more that plays up there, 5, Trossard. He's been in and out the team, and he's not a finisher.
They're not.
So,
And neither's Jesus.
but then
Jesus is
5
not a
players
finisher.
predominantly got you the 91 goals last season, and they're still there, but they've just been injured. When you've got 60 million, because they had it, because they bid for Ollie Watkins, you know, that was the opportunity to bring someone in. And my argument is, do it early. Do it early, get him in, and away you go. And if you don't win it because of that, you've tried everything. And there were circumstances this season that were against them. A lot of injuries to big players. Andy spoke about it before, and that top end of the pitch was that's what's let them down this season. It's not defensively, it's not tactically.
I think a rigidity in thinking and the way they play, and a lack of plan B.
Yeah.
I think those are the things that probably have let them down more. I think they've been found out a little bit. Their insistence on scoring goals from set play, teams worked that out, and that cost them in terms of their ability to construct and thoughtfully score goals in other ways. They relied so much on corners and scaring teams in that scenario. It did become an obsession. Yeah,
it worked for them for a long time. I think when the thing about when you talk about you don't need, I'm not going to say a striker. You don't need a goal scorer as such, right? When you do need a goal scorer, when you do need people who can score goals, and in the games that matter, the big games that can be, you might get 2 or 3 charges in it. And you say, yes, they're going to beat, who did they beat in 7 in midweek? PSV, was it? They beat PSV. Of course they are. They've won others 4 or 5 this year as well. They can do that with the talent they've got in that group. But it's like tonight, when you really need someone who's got an eye for a goal, who can sniff a goal out.
That's all very well, but you've still got to play in a way that gets the ball to whoever is doing that job.
They can get the ball there.
Trossard, Martinelli.
Yeah, they can get the ball there, Keezy.
They don't. It's just so predictable.
But they've had 2 opportunities tonight. Trossard, all right, Martinelli's was offside, but he still didn't. He didn't know, and he didn't put the ball in the back of the net. A top striker, a front man, a goal scorer scores that. Yeah. The one that comes across to Trossard, edge of the box, Tini fizzes it across. A striker hits the target, makes the keeper work. He's fizzed it wide. A top striker, like Andy said, 2 or 3 chances. A striker finishes one of them.
Big moments decide big games. Yeah. They really do. You might only get 2 or 3 of them.
Scores those goals, and you're saying he's not.
Maybe he's not. He's not. He'll get goals, but would he get that? I don't know. What I would say is those chances. Let's just say Martinelli wasn't offside. Let's say that Trossard last chance. What I would try to say is, if that fell to Salah, Jota, Diaz, they'd probably hit the target. They might well score, and that's the difference at the level Liverpool are at. I think at that end of the pitch.